What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to Game of the Week. I am your host, SnowyKurama, the coach of the Season 5 Chicago White Sox, and the co-host of the PDL Pokemon Draft League. And today we are here to watch this week's featured battle, of course, as we always do, on Game of the Week. If you would like to see all the other games featured, not really featured, but if you'd like to see all the other games, they are all in the description, including my own. And this week's battle is between the Toronto Star Raptors, coached by Mitch, versus the coach of the Great Bats of Budo, Steven. So here we go. Gonna put that on, put it on normal, and press the play button. We start off with a Medicham on the Wudo side versus Steelix on the Star Raptors side, which is a pretty fine lead against Steven IMO, considering that he usually starts with his Pelipper to set up the rain and U-turn out and whatnot. But it's not necessarily the greatest against a Mega Medicham, considering that high jump kick exists. It's going to take a dick ton, but it will end up living anything, considering it does have access to Sturdy, if that's the set that Mitch is bringing for a lead Steelix. I would assume so, especially since it has access to Stealth Rock, but we'll see what happens. Steven Mega Evolves, of course, and high jump kicks, bringing it down to 1. Sets up the Stealth Rock on Steven's side, and then switches out to Decidueye. Bullet Punch does somewhat of a chunk to it, but that was a good switch on Mitch's part. Going to keep the Steelix here for some sack fodder, and yeah, obviously it took the hit pretty well, so let's see what Steven does here. Zen Headbutt misses, which kind of sucks. Allows Mitch to get up a Swords Dance, but the Medicham knocks out the Decidueye. Then Mitch goes out into Star Raptor, probably planning on Brave Birding here. And Steven goes out to the Pelipper to take the hit. Unfortunately gets the Stealth Rock, of course. But actually, Mitch ends up U-turning. Probably predicting Steven not wanting to stay in, because obviously this thing's going to knock it out. Although, I guess Steven could have been running the Thunder Punch. But there's also the Speed Tie to kind of watch out for. Plus, we don't know if the Star Raptor is Choice Scarfed or not. So the U-turn is really, really good. Rocky Helmet? Yep, there's Rocky Helmet. Jolteon comes in, and this is one reason why this thing won Game of the Week. Mitch's prediction skills are actually present, as opposed to the other seasons of the league, as I think I touched on a little bit in one of the previous games of the week. Hyper Voice is here, does a chunk to Mamoswine. I didn't even know this thing got Hyper Voice. Probably because the seasons that I had Jolteon, I never really cared to use Hyper Voice, since it's not really the best. It's just normal type move, not stab or anything. But definitely with the... no, never mind. It doesn't have Galvanize. I don't know what I'm thinking. Anyway, you'll see this Hyper Voice take out the Mamoswine pretty damn well. So no rocks for Steven, no earthquakes for the Jolteon, and we see Tapu Koko coming in now. Mitch switches out into the Steelix, and Steven uses Dazzling Gleam, which is a lot better than Thunderbolt, because, you know, Jolteon has access to Volt Absorb. But the Steelix wasn't doing much else, so it was a great sack, and pivoting into the Shaman here. Steven Volt switches and goes to Medicham. I think there's an Earth Power there, which was definitely going to take out the Tapu Koko, but it did a dick ton of damage to the Medicham. I don't really know what item this Shaman is either. But we see the Earth Power take it out the rest of the way. Oh, it's Life Orb, there it is. Suicune comes on out, and I think we see a Protect from the Suicune. I'm not sure why he didn't try... well, I guess considering that Steven brought 3 water types to a fight where the opponent has a Jolteon and a Shaman, wasn't exactly the best, so this kind of was the position to be expected to get into. The Leaf Storm ends up knocking out the Suicune, which we see the special attack drop from the Shaman, so even with that Life Orb, it's not going to do too much unless it's invested heavily in that attack, which I believe it is. We see Pelipper coming in after the Tapu Koko sets up the terrain. Earth Power, as predicted by Steven, I think. And then Leaf Storm is actually able to take out Pelipper the rest of the way due to the fact that the residual damage from the rocks were there. Koko comes out. We see a switch, I believe. No, Shaman is actually just knocked out. So things aren't looking good for Steven. He's got a fully well Primarina and a very weakened Koko. And Thunder ends up doing a nice chunk to the Muck, despite its special defense, but the special defense is kind of why it lived, said Thunder. So that's nice. Gunk Shot takes out the Koko, of course. And then we have Primarina versus the rest of Mitch's Mons, which is 2 fully healed. Well, the Staraptor is not, but the Jolteon's still at 100. And Muck is now gone from the Hydro Pump. We see Jolteon come out here and Thunderbolt the Primarina. Primarina lives because of that nice bulky special defense and HP it has, but that you can see is not really enough for Steven. But this was a nice game, more showcasing Mitch's growth and better choices through the season. It's definitely great to see that, and Steven, as well as myself, not doing too hot this season, losing a bunch, but hey, everybody has their days, and that's just kind of what this video is about, I guess. But yeah, this was a great game. It showcased a lot of the nice predictions that we'll see from Mitch in the future, as well as kind of the interesting ways that these two decided to use their Mons. I did not have the foresight to grab the stats from this week, so none of those, but we might see them for next week. And yeah, comment down below what your favorite game was from this week. All the pastes from the replays are down below, as well as kind of the music that I used for whatever track I decided for this video. So yeah, let me know what things you want to let me know. Like if you liked this video, subscribe if you want more PDL content, Pokemon content, and a game of the week. And all that being said and more, this has been your boy, SnowyKurama. See you in the next video. Goodbye.